Welcome to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're plunging into what feels like a truly pivotal couple of months in all elite wrestling.
Absolutely. June and July were, well, pretty explosive.
Yeah, a time when alliances got seriously tested, power dynamics just shifted dramatically, and, every single match seemed to tell a much deeper story. We're cracking open this high-stakes period, June and July. And our source here isn't just rumor, it's an official recap document. So we're getting a direct look, unfiltered, at the major storylines and, of course, the big one, Bash at the Beach 2025.
That's right, straight from the source material.
So our mission today, let's try and extract the most vital insights, the real nuggets from this period. I want to understand the key rivalries, maybe uncover some surprising twists.
And figure out what it all means, right, for AEW's future.
Exactly, what it signifies for their trajectory. So let's get right into the build-up, because honestly, it laid such a careful foundation of tension, you could really feel it.
Yeah, they really set the stage.
Okay, so let's start with the Elite. A group whose whole identity really is built on that idea of brotherhood.
Right, the core of their bond.
Through June and July, we definitely saw some rising tensions within the group, little cracks appearing.
Yeah, you could sense something wasn't quite right.
But then they had this moment, felt like a big emotional beat, reunited in the ring. They reaffirmed their bond, even said it was thicker than blood.
Felt like, okay, they're back on the same page. A reset.
It really did. It felt like a turning point, like they were locking in their iconic status again, but then, bam, that massive emotional payoff was immediately flipped.
Oh, yeah?
The Young Bucks just turned brutally on Kenny Omega in a trios match.
It was shocking. I mean, not just a standard heel turn.
No. For anyone who's followed the Elite, this just fundamentally changed everything. Their whole brotherhood thing, a pillar of AEW's identity, suddenly became this, personal tragedy almost.
Completely reframed their story.
And this shocking turn, it led Kenny to challenge them, not one-on-one, but two-on-one at the pay-per-view.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? Kenny challenging them like that, two-on-one. It's not just bold.
Yeah.
It really symbolizes his immediate isolation, I think.
Yeah.
He's basically saying, okay, it's me against the unit I helped build, betting purely on himself.
Yeah, like a hero's journey flipped on its head, almost.
Exactly, within this modern wrestling context.
Right. And while all that drama was unfolding with their alliances fracturing, another kind of struggle was happening backstage.
The power play.
William Regal's return. He immediately starts clashing with Johnson over creative stuff.
The booking, the direction of the shows.
Yeah, exactly. And it really hinted at this much bigger sort of internal power struggle brewing. Who's really pulling the strings for AEW's future?
And it's compelling, seeing how other alliances were being strategically put together or reformed while all this was going on.
Right.
You mentioned Regal's return, but elsewhere, you had the Hurt Syndicate making a really surprising move.
Oh, yeah, bringing Swerve Strickland back.
Bringing Swerve back. And the way they did it, so unique. A poker game against MVP.
A poker game.
Yeah. The bet was Swerve rejoins the Syndicate for 3 months, but on a, quote, trial basis.
Yeah.
And MVP promised he'd do better by him this time around.
Okay, hold on. A poker game for a wrestler's loyalty. Especially after, things ended pretty badly last time. Is that clever storytelling, or does it maybe, trivialize the tension a bit?
That's a fair question. It's definitely unique, memorable, highlights MVP's smarts, maybe his willingness to use unconventional methods.
True.
On the other hand, yeah, maybe it feels less emotionally heavy than a traditional reconciliation. But you know what? MVP actually delivered on his promise.
He did.
Yeah. Swerve started racking up wins pretty quickly. Even teamed up with Jade Cargill, the prize champion, in some successful intergender matches.
Oh.
Showed his value right away.
So it wasn't just the symbolic return. It was calculated, and it paid off fast for the Syndicate.
Exactly. Deliberate reintegration.
Okay. Meanwhile, shifting gears a bit on the more mysterious side of things.
Yes.
The Witches 3. They kept powering up Mil Muertes. And he and Katrina dropped this ominous promise that more of the Walking Dead would join their ranks in the summer.
Definitely planting seeds there.
Yeah.
Something spooky building long term.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on for sure. And amidst all this chaos, this other really personal, honestly concerning story was playing out. Toni Storm.
Oh, Toni. Yeah.
Her downward spiral was becoming really visible. We saw her under Soraya's care, but Soraya was getting, like, increasingly desperate.
Trying to snap her out of it.
Trying, failing, yeah. Trying to pull her back to reality, but it wasn't working. It was this really compelling visual, almost like a ticking clock, right?
Yeah.
Setting stage for, well, for what happened later at Bash at the Beach.
Absolutely. You knew that was going to come to a head.
Which brings us right to it. The biggest crossroads of this whole period. AEW Bash at the Beach 2025.
Huge event. Daytona Beach, Florida, Sunday, June 30th, 2025.
And yeah, it definitely delivered. Lots to unpack.
For sure. Where do you want to start? The title matches.
Yeah, let's run through those championship showdowns first. The AEW Trios Championship, the Wrestling Foundation, that's Claudio, Dax, and Cash. They defended successfully against the Death Triangle.
Solid defense. That match really showed the Foundation's style, right? Methodical, powerful, against the sort of high-flying chaos of Death Triangle.
Yeah, cemented their reign as just this dominant unit.
Mm-hmm.
Then over in the women's division, Jade Cargill. She retained her AEW Women's World Championship. Unique match, though. A triple threat against Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan.
Right, and the finish was interesting.
Yeah, her win wasn't because she pinned both or dominated. It was more because Alexa and Liv were, quote, too focused on beating each other.
Allowing Jade to just capitalize.
Yeah.
Smart champion move.
Exactly. Walked away still champ because they took each other out.
Yeah.
Okay, TNT Championship. Christian Cage retained against Ricky Starks.
Starks put up a hell of a fight, though. So much flair.
Oh, incredible fight. But Christian Cage really controlled things at key moments, and there was that specific detail in the recap. Claudio getting involved.
Yeah, it mentioned Claudio transitioned into a sharpshooter near-fall sequence during Christian's match.
Right. A classic submission. Almost won it for Christian.
Yeah.
Shows that faction synergy, even in a singles match.
Subtle, but effective.
And Starks, man, all heart. Refused to tap, but eventually just pass out from the pain. Says a lot about his resilience, but also Christian's methodical attack.
Brutal finish.
Then the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship, the Kabuki Warriors kept their titles against Toni Storm and Soraya.
And this tied directly back to that Toni Storm storyline we mentioned.
Correctly. The recap says Toni just, quote, lost it in the final moments. Completely unraveled.
Despite Soraya pleading with her.
Yeah, Soraya begging her to focus, but Toni was gone. That distraction, that lack of composure, it cost them the match. A really dramatic payoff to that whole downward spiral.
Yeah, heartbreaking for Soraya, really.
Okay, now, here's where things get really intense, I think. The personal grudge match. Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson.
The match everyone was waiting for after that betrayal.
Exactly. And Kenny fought like crazy. Rallied, hit some vicious V-triggers, you know, those knee strikes that are just his calling card.
Signature Omega offense.
But ultimately, after some interference, it wasn't enough. He fell to the BTE trigger.
Ugh, their double-team finisher.
Yeah.
Named after their show.
Yeah, a move just steeped in their shared history, which made them beating Kenny with it just, I don't know, extra painful to watch. The Bucks get the win.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, what happened immediately after? That just completely rewrote the power structure in AEW.
Right after the match.
Right after. Mercedes Moné comes out. She joins the Bucks. She's already in full CEO attire.
Oh.
And they anoint her AEW EVP. Crown her as the head of the new elite.
Okay, AEW EVP, Executive Vice President. In AEW terms, what does that actually mean? Is it just a storyline title, like a gimmick, or does it have real backstage clout?
That's such a crucial point, because in AEW, those EVP roles, they often do mean significant creative input, real backstage influence over the company's direction, the booking.
So this isn't just a new stable forming on TV.
No. It signals a fundamental shift, potentially, in the company's internal power. A new era of booking strategy, maybe, especially for the women's division. Now Moné's potentially involved at that level.
Wow, okay. There's big implications there.
Huge. And the backstage fallout was immediate and definitive. William Regal confronts Johnson. Basically says, Mercedes Moné, she has no power here. She's a paper CEO.
Trying to assert his own authority.
Exactly. But Johnson's reply was just chillingly clear. He reveals he made her an official CEO, said she'd use the name for a year, sure, but now it's official, recognized.
He validated it.
Totally. And then he drops the bomb. She is an EVP, and now we, Mr. Johnson, and this new team, the MONE, Buck AKS, have more controlling power than you.
The MONE, Buck case. Wow.
Yeah. And Regal. Nothing he could do. Clearly outplayed, powerless in that moment. He just storms off. This wasn't just the Bucks winning a match. It felt like a strategic coup. reshaping the whole company structure from within.
Incredible. Okay, the aftermath of Bash at the Beach didn't stop there, though. Some other brutal battles went down.
Oh, yeah. MJF versus CM Punk. Street fight.
Described as a 40-minute blood war. Just sounds exhausting.
Absolutely brutal. And the finish. Punk hits the GTS, his finisher.
But MJF counters it into a roll-up, gets the win. Kind of unexpected, right? After a 40-minute war, it ends on a counter roll-up.
Yeah, a gritty, maybe slightly surprising finish to such a brutal fight.
And then the main event, AEW World Championship, Drew Galloway defending against Adam Cole.
Great main event, described as gritty, storyline rich.
Yeah, and you saw that story in the match. Cole targeting Drew's ribs, his shoulder, really working over those weaknesses.
Smart strategy against a bigger opponent.
Totally. They mentioned rock bottom scenarios traded, so both guys hitting their absolute biggest moves. Huge near falls, I bet.
Must have been intense.
Until Drew counters Cole's finisher, the Panama Sunrise, counters it right into a Claymore. Boom. Retains the title.
Great counter finish. Drew hangs on. But the story didn't quite end with the belt.
No, the post-match stuff was really telling. Adam Cole, the recap, says he was selling his heart out.
That's wrestling talk for really convincingly showing the pain, the exhaustion after a tough match.
Right. And he had to be helped to the back. Just a visual that screams how much that title match took out of him.
Really puts over the brutality of the championship level.
And it's right here. The narrative threads kind of twist again. The source gives us this very deliberate backstage shot. Punk is there, licking his wounds from his own war.
Still feeling that street fight.
Yeah. And he's watching Cole's ordeal, watching him being helped away. And immediately after that shot, we cut to MJF just smirking at the whole scene. What do you make of that final sequence? Punk watching Cole, MJF's smirking at it all. That shared gaze almost across different kinds of pain.
Yeah, that raises a really interesting question, doesn't it? About the ongoing story.
Yeah.
It's clearly not just about who won or lost their specific match that night. Punk and MJF, even after their own bloody fight, they seem connected somehow by this, I don't know, this shared experience of struggle and ambition in wrestling.
Yeah.
MJF's smirk at Cole gone could just be him being MJF, enjoying someone else's misery, schadenfreude.
Classic MJF.
Or maybe it's something more complex, like an acknowledgement of the brutal climb they're all on in this business.
Yeah.
It feels like it suggests these rivalries, Punk MJF, Cole Galloway, they might be separate, but they're part of a bigger interconnected web. Hints at future conflicts, maybe even weird alliances down the road.
Yeah, lots of possibilities spinning out of that one look. Okay, so let's try and recap this incredible deep dive. June and July.
Man, a lot happened.
We saw the absolutely dramatic betrayal and the formation of the new elite. A shocking power play really flipped the whole landscape of AEW's top faction.
Changed everything for the elite.
We saw those significant backstage power struggles really come to a head. New strategic alliances forming, like with Swerve and the Hurt Syndicate. And then Bash at the Beach delivered these intensely personal matches, championship-defining moments, and paid off some long-running storylines like Tony Storm's.
Yeah, this deep dive, hopefully it's given you listening a really concise but thorough picture of just how pivotal this period was for AEW.
Right. Highlighting huge implications of these events for what comes next, the storylines, the power structure, everything.
It feels like a period that genuinely reshaped the foundations for the future.
Definitely. Okay, so here's something for you to chew on as we wrap up. We've got these new power dynamics, right? The new elite, the MONE Buckks apparently having more control than ever before.
Big shift backstage.
And we've still got these super heated rivalries cooking. Punk versus MJF clearly isn't over. Adam Cole's got his own saga continuing.
Lots of unresolved tension.
So, thinking about all that, what do you think the next quarter holds? For that balance of power, for the championship chases in AEW, what's the biggest potential shakeup waiting just around the corner?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Where do they go from here?